welcome to the ClearCryptos YouTube channel, where on this channel, it will eventually be a 24/7 news network. Think about the ESPN for crypto, right? All the information you can get about cryptocurrency. Austin Hilton, most of you probably know him in the crypto space, and myself will be doing a lot of videos like this, but you're going to find a lot of other content from other creators as well, and professionals all around various industries as it relates to the financial sector. So in this one, we want to talk about crypto regulation, and we're finally starting to get some clarity on what we could see. And we'll come back to that word clarity too, because of course, ClearCryptos is helping aid in that department as well. But slowly but surely, we're starting to see what this could look like, at least in the United States. And we're finding out that Biden and company want to work with all parties and really members of the G20 to find out a way for a global payment system. Part of the big issue with XRP was, I think it came too fast. Austin, we've talked about that a little bit. Of course, they've been in hot water with the SEC. But I think more than anything, it's just to kind of put that on the back burner until the United States and other powerhouses figure a way to do this, right?
Yeah, I think we all know. I've lost track. We've all slept since then. It was a couple of months ago that the White House put out the I don't even know what they called it, the memorandum, and basically tasked all the major government agencies here in the States to go out and figure out their part of crypto regulation. And, obviously there's a lot of content we can unpack there, where you start to see these agencies are jockeying for control, right? We see, what's going to be classified as a commodity versus security. That's not really the point of this video, but I think you're seeing a lot of but what is the point of this video, right, Zach, is you're seeing a lot of uncertainty around regulation and what is it going to be and things like that. And I know we're ultimately going to bring this back to Clear here in a little bit, but I think one thing that Clear, from it, even though it hasn't launched yet, it's been created from the ground up with the idea and the ideology, if you will, that we want to be part of the discussion around regulation in a positive way. In fact, we've heard from a lot of key members in the organization that that's part of their go forward strategy. And so and that's a good thing, right? I think that that's something where, talking about KYC, know your customer, and all those kind of things, I think that ultimately at the end of the day is a good thing. And before I wrap up my thoughts on this, I think that I will say this, and I know you've said this, is that I think people are afraid of regulation. But here's what I would say. People are afraid of the uncertainty around regulation. But
Right.
Regulation at the end of the day is a good thing for crypto, because it will, air quotes, legitimize, although I think, we both know it's legitimate in the eyes of mainstream, investors. So regulation is a good thing in long term.
I agree 100%. And I want to add on to that point, because I was just talking about this on my live stream earlier this morning, is that, what are the predominant themes and narratives that you hear about when people outside of crypto talk about crypto? They're usually negative, right?
Yeah.
They're usually really negative. Like, oh no, that's just some scam. That's just, I'm going to lose all my money, right?
Used to launder money. It's used to launder money. The list goes on. Yeah.
Right. And how do we flip that script and change it? I think a big piece of that is some regulation. And I know there's pushback. I know people would say, well, then it's not decentralized. You're getting away from what crypto is. That's why I said some regulation, not a lot of regulation, but some regulation, I think, to your point, to use your word, will legitimize crypto. And I think a lot of institutions are sitting on the sidelines. And I think there are a lot of retail investors as well, sitting on the sidelines, waiting for regulatory clarity. And then all of a sudden, they will inject that into the crypto market when they have that feeling of safety.
I think there are billions of global potential investors who make up for trillions of dollars that will come in. And I'm talking about that's not even institutional money. That's not even the big money, right? And so, but I think, here's the thing, that the narrative, most people don't understand crypto. I have, you and I have talked about this off camera. I mean, I have friends who are very, very successful stock investors and own businesses, and they are like, well, is that Bitcoin thing doing okay? I'm like, literally, that's a quote. I'm like, well, it's not a thing. And, and it's this whole, but yeah. Here's what I would say. They are curious, and they do understand, and they do see something there, but they don't understand it.
And that's what a lot of this channel is going to be aimed at doing, and what
Yes.
Clear is aimed at doing too. We're going to jump into Clear here in just a minute, but it's exactly that. It's that 95% of people aren't invested in crypto, and they need the basic education to get them more interested and take that curiosity to let's get into the market. So I think a lot of the videos you'll see on this channel will be aimed at that audience. Will be aimed at the people who are interested, that have you know. Have the financial ability to be in, but they're not in yet because they don't understand it. So
Yeah, and I think to put some more meat around that, since this is like only the second or third video on the channel, and yeah, we're talking about regulation, but you open an interesting door there, Zach, is that people are like, well, what kind of content's going to be on the Clear Cryptos, and why, Austin, and are you and Zach doing content for this? Well, again, we believe so fundamentally in this project. We want to help get it off the ground, and so you're gonna see content from us on obviously the Clear Cryptos YouTube channel. You're still going to see our channel. I'm still going to be making 35 videos a day for my channel.
somehow,
Yeah, everybody kids me about that. But to your point, Zach, right? A lot of the educational content that Clear Cryptos YouTube channel will be, what is DeFi? How do you use it? Or, all of the things around that, wallets, and what are they? And just there will be a vast amount of truly educational content, more than you and I do, because you and I do a different type and style of content. But I think that's, again, with one clear vision that I didn't know. You see what I did there? With one clear vision of what Clear is going to do. I didn't mean to do that. Is that ultimately it's education. Ultimately, it's to make crypto more accessible to the masses, education, things of that nature. So yeah.
100%. And I want to dive into this because one of the committees, and there are a lot of them that are, still, working with one another to kind of create the narrative around crypto regulation, is the Financial Stability Board. And this is a recent release that they put out, their statement on international regulation and supervision of crypto asset activities. So I just watched a little video. I shared it with you this morning, Austin, and we checked it out over on Yahoo Finance's channel. And they're talking about the G20 nations coming together to create this global payment gateway. Mm-hmm. The big barrier, I guess you could say, that has been probably looming more so than anything else are stable coins.
Yep.
And we've seen stable coins collapse, the algorithmic stable coins with UST from Terra, which was crazy because it actually single-handedly pulled back Bitcoin 20%. I mean, think about that.
That's insane.
That's how big of a deal that was. But these so-called stable coins and other crypto assets do not operate in a regulation-free space now. And they're trying to do this on a global scale, which I'm so glad that I don't have to be at the table making these big decisions. But I think they're going to start here, wouldn't you say, with stable coins?
Yeah, I mean, let's just call it what it is. Stable coins are what freaks out governments and banking institutions. Period. End of story. Okay, could drop the mic, walk off the stage. So it doesn't surprise me that that's where, if you see a lot of the narrative coming from the United States government and other governments, it usually comes back to stable coins, and that's why the United States is trying to introduce their own stable, if you will. It's about control. We all know that, and I don't think we need to unpack that dramatically. But stable coins is where everybody readily agrees that regulation, it will come into play. And quite frankly, to your point, Zach, with UST, I think that stable coins do need regulation. Look at the devastating impact of the fallout of UST. You're 20% Bitcoin, but the people that had life savings wiped out because of Terra and UST. And I know we're really talking about the UST stablecoin, the algorithmic, but yeah, I mean, I think it's however I feel about it, positive or negative. I think that this is something that does need to happen in one way or the other.
And this is one of many reports. I mean, we're still at the infancy stages of the governments across the world trying to figure this out. So we'll be following this very closely on the channel. This is obviously very, very important information for anybody, whether they're already invested in crypto or whether they're looking at getting in. So we'll have a lot of content on this. Now, to bring this back to Clear and how this kind of fits in with what's going on, all of these changes that are happening in the crypto industry, Clear is trying to get out ahead of these changes. So we haven't talked a lot about the trading platform, which we will in another video, and more so in on this channel. The educational component, you kind of alluded to that. You're watching the YouTube channel right now. That's going to be a huge, huge emphasis for the project. But in this video, I want to focus more on safety and then network. So you alluded to it. The depth of vetting and auditing and accountability needs to be advanced. We're just not there yet in crypto. And it's terrible because we see a lot of bad actors coming into the space and taking advantage of retail investors left and right. We've been a part of it. People who followed our channels have been a part of it. If you've been in crypto the last year and a half, you've been a part of it. Clear has an angle forward that is, let's just say, much deeper than anything we have currently.
Yeah, I think that Clear, part of their strategy, if you scroll down, Zach, to the network component of that, you can read in that network paragraph right there that Clear is going to be through partnerships.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
there you go. I was just trying to go full screen.
Through partnerships, mergers, acquisitions, ClearCryptos will further growth for companies which aim to improve, expand the cryptocurrency space. Okay, so in that capacity, bringing this back to regulation and to to your point, which I think is probably the key, is to ultimately to make crypto a better place, which we all want, a safer place, better projects to be involved with, to interact with, to things of that nature. There has to be a better process. There has to be a vetting process, a KYC in place, know your customer. This is a process related to the people releasing the projects. That's what we're talking about here, right? Is that Clear aims to, in one way or the other, again, there's things we can't talk about quite yet, in one way or the other, to vet these projects to make so that you can go, hey, you know what? I'm thinking about, XYZ project. I'm going to go check it out. Is it gone through the Clear process? Oh, it has. Wow, I feel a lot better about that project, and I may want to get involved with that project. That's part of, again, KYC, know your customer. And I think bringing it back to your point, Zach, about regulation, is that Clear wants to be on the cutting edge of that frontier and helping to make better for everybody crypto and the projects in the future, right?
100%. And I think, there are companies out there who do this right now, but not to the scale that ClearCryptos will do it in the near distant future.
It will be a complete paradigm shift.
Exactly. You'll soon learn
and everything of how they want to make it better, right?
100%. And you'll soon learn about what we mean with this in terms of the network that just the people running ClearCryptos have, the companies behind some of this vetting and auditing that will be done. It is going to take it to a whole nother level. And this is exactly what we need to legitimize crypto. So real quick, really would appreciate you guys if you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're just coming across this for the first time, share it with a friend. And Austin, do you have any parting words or parting message here for the audience? And be on the lookout for a lot more content too.
No, I think we've covered it. I think that ultimately, when you and I sat down to make this video, I think we had an idea where we wanted it to go, and I think regulation is a good thing. There's fear there, right? But I think what I love about Clear and being involved in what these guys are doing is that their objective is to make it better. And that's one thing I've always, from day one, I've always seen. And then to see them execute on it and to see the vision and the scope and everything, like you said, I think it's going to be, it's a game changer. And I'm happy to be a part of it.
Likewise. And we're happy to have everybody, all of you out there tuning into this, and really look forward to helping advance the crypto space. Because at the end of the day, I know Austin says this all the time, that's really our mission. And that's always been our goal since we started our own channels, is to make crypto better. So when we came across this company in ClearCryptos, that's exactly what they're aimed at doing. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hit that like button on your way out, and we'll see you in the next video right here.